Welcome to the art vlog with me, George Dopamine. Today I've been lured by the Brighton Festival to this beautiful city by the sea. The Brighton Festival is a smorgasbord of dance, theatre, spoken word, classical and contemporary music, and of course art. Obviously as an art vlog, that's what we're going to be focusing on today. I'm going to attempt to take you today to 4 different shows. The first 2 at the University of Sussex campus at Falmer, and then back into town for 2 more shows at 2 different venues. So come and join me as I show you what the Brighton Festival has to offer in terms of art. We're here today on the University of Sussex campus out in Falmer at the Attenborough Centre of Creative Arts to see 2 pieces I'm really excited about. The first is by New Zealand-born, Brussels-based artist Kate McIntosh, and it's called Worktable. Now she is a very diverse artist. I don't know much about her, but I'm expected to be immersed in creativity. The second piece is a film and spoken word piece by the artist Emma Critchley, and again I don't know much about her. This one is called Witness. The Worktable piece by Kate McIntosh is £10 and is on until the 15th of May, so you have to get your skates on if you want to get down here. And similarly, Witness is free unless you do the spoken word option, in which case it's £5, and that as well is on rotation quite late, actually till 9 o'clock until the 15th of May. So come and join me as first of all we explore Worktable by Kate McIntosh at the Attenborough Centre for Creative Arts. So I've just come out of Kate McIntosh's Worktable, and the first thing I would say is it reminded me a little bit of Yoko Ono's Mend piece, where you were given shattered pieces of pottery and you had to recreate something out of them, mend them. That was on at the Whitechapel Gallery. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But this was subtly different. First of all, you were confronted in the foyer of the Attenborough Centre for Creative Arts with a series, as you can hopefully see here, of different objects, and they were totally random. There's a Paul Young album, there's a car, there's even a Chinese banknote. You were asked to choose one object from the selection, and I chose this rather fine teacup and saucer. And then you were escorted to the first of 3 galleries, and you sat down at a table and you were given a series of tools and you destroyed that piece. And obviously in the back of your mind you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to put this piece back together. You then go to the second room where you're told to put the piece you've chosen, destroyed, on a table, as you can hopefully see here, and choose a new piece. And then you have to recreate that piece. And it was tremendous fun. You were given things like glue and sellotape and gaffer tape and cling film. And as you can see here, I chose a brick. And this brick, you know, was a bit like a puzzle. I was inspired and wanted to put it back together all, as close as possible as it was. But anyway, you would spend time creating. And then in the third room, you would put your piece on display as part of an art show. It was a wonderfully fun piece of immersive installation art. I really like the metaphor of constant destruction and rebuilding. I also like the fact that the mending of the destruction of other humans was a pretty powerful metaphor in these times as well. But what was the real highlight for me was going into that final gallery and seeing how different human beings had approached the task. Some of them, like me, had lacked a bit of creativity and tried to put the piece back together as close as possible. And you can see a couple of other examples here of this. But you can see that some people were inspired much more creatively to create totally new, amazing bits of art. Have a look at this one. I absolutely love this piece, which you can hopefully see on your screen now. And what about this one from a packet of cigarettes? It's absolutely classic, and it's got a really strong message as well. And if you just have a look at this clip around the gallery, you can see that each one of these is kind of like an example of a human creative mind. So I thoroughly enjoyed this piece. It was £10 well worth spending. You can spend as long as you want destroying, and you can also spend as long as you want rebuilding. So there's no time pressure. And I found myself really immersed in the jigsaw puzzle of trying to put this piece together, but other people I was with took a very different approach. I thoroughly recommend this show. I'm a sucker for installation art, and I would give this a really good 8 out of 10. If you're around this week and you're at the University of Sussex or you're on the campus at Falmer, come along please and explore Kate McIntosh's Worktable. There's slots available throughout most days, and it's a really fun creative piece where you yourself become the art. So we've just come out of the second piece, our big art piece at the Attenborough Centre of Creative Arts as part of the Brighton Festival 2022. This was called Witness by the artist Emma Critchley. It was an interesting film piece which included in the performance we saw a spoken word edition as well. And it was really beautifully shot, especially I love these clips of the body, human body, female human body in water. That was really stunning, sort of dance pieces almost on the screens. Yeah, we went to the performance with the live spoken word piece, which you can see performance details of here, although to be honest, by the time this goes live, there will be very few of these left. I didn't know personally if the live spoken word delivered in Latin American Spanish, Italian, Swahili and English actually added to the experience. And I would like to experience this film again with a with the audio, if you like, the libretto which we were handed out as we came in. So that was my only little worry with it. But I thought it was beautifully shot. It was an interesting piece. It's quite long. It's about half an hour, and it would be really interesting to see if any of you guys see it with the original soundtrack, if you like, that's attached to the piece as opposed to the live spoken word, to see if that works better, because it's a really ambitious piece about the melting of glaciers and of the impact and witness statements of the impact that melting of glaciers has on human life around the world. Yeah, so overall, just really enjoyed both of those shows, especially Worktable. I mean, that was a really great creative piece of art. I love the fact that the work that we produced became art. As I say, it's not a unique idea. It's been done by other artists, but it was very well executed, and the Attenborough Centre of Creative Arts was a great venue for it. It was well organised as well. People were very nervous about us hurting ourselves, but it was absolutely fine in that sense. The Critchley piece is a nice companion piece, and obviously if you're going to Worktable, then obviously you can go to that as well, and for most of the day, as I said in my review of it, it is free. I'm now going to head into Brighton itself and go to the city centre to explore some more art. We've now made it back into the centre of Brighton, a very easy 8-minute train journey from the Falmer University campus. And we're at one of my favourite art spaces whenever I'm down in the city, the Phoenix Art Space. This has a gallery at this end, but also a series of studios and workshops where you can do courses on anything from screen printing to more traditional painting. There's also a nice coffee bar at that end as well. The show we're going to see today is by an artist called Alberta Whittle. It's called I do know that Whittle, I saw her at the Life Between Islands show, that fantastic show of Anglo-Caribbean art at the Tate Britain, and also that she's representing Scotland at the Venice Biennale. The show displayed a range of Alberta Whittle's more recent work in an intimate small gallery, including paintings, as you can see here, video work, and an installation work as well. And it explored a really interesting range of themes surrounding the personal and the political. For me, the most affecting piece by far was her film piece, Sorry Not Sorry, which is in a separate small gallery it was explosive. It kind of showed the tussles that the Windrush generation faced and have continued to face. It combined archive footage from the Caribbean with modern day footage from the Caribbean, as well as British tabloid headlines and an incredibly emotive and explosive speech by the Labour MP David Lammy about the Windrush scandal. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It blew me away, and I'll be thinking about it for a long time. I really liked the juxtaposition between the beauty of the Caribbean as a holiday place and the brutality of its history as obviously a base for the slave trade. So for me, Sorry Not Sorry is well worth the watch, and it's incredibly powerful, and I recommend it that show for this alone. But overall, it was an interesting exploration. We're now approaching probably my most favourite gallery in Brighton, Fabrica, right in the heart of the lanes in this old deconsecrated church. This has put on some fantastic shows over the years and is at the heartbeat of the Brighton Festival. The show is by an Syrian-born artist, Mohamad Hafez, and it's called Journeys from an Absent Present to a Lost Past. I have to say, overall, I adored this piece of work by the Syrian artist Mohamad Hafez at the Fabrica Gallery. It was the last piece I saw at the Brighton Festival, and it was absolutely wonderful. Hafez is a Syrian artist who left us on a single entry visa to study architecture in America in 2003, and he realised very quickly that it would be very hard for him to return home, and he was overwhelmed with a sense of nostalgia. And in a rich tradition of artists in exile, he began to meticulously recreate the world that he remembered from Syria in these dioramas which you're about to see now. And they are stunning. There are street scenes and rooms from the memory of Hafez's Damascus that he grew up in. And as you can see from this piece, they're incredibly detailed. The washing line, the car, the tiles, and they draw you in. And they lull me into a sense of almost like trance-like. I was no longer in Brighton, but I was in Damascus. Absolutely incredible pieces, I have to say. They deserve really wide recognition. There's some of these are being displayed in Britain for the first time, obviously because of Syria's tragic history, as well as being about personal nostalgia and regret. The civil war has made return for millions of Syrians impossible, and so these are incredibly politically charged works as well. And COVID has given them a universal feel because so many people were exiled and unable to return home because of travel restrictions linked to the COVID-19 pandemic. But most of all, these are beautiful works of art which transport you from the gallery which they're in to a different place, and surely that is one of the greatest achievements an artist can envisage. So overall, a fantastic end to my day exploring art in Brighton. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I will be back to this show 100% before it ends on the 29th of May. Wow, I'm totally arted out in the beautiful gardens of the Brighton Pavilion here. Usually I'm the type of person who likes to just go to one show in a day and dedicate myself to that artist or that collective, but today I thoroughly enjoyed seeing all of those 4 shows. Undoubtedly, the 2 highlights for me were Worktable by McIntosh up at the University of Sussex at Falmouth, and then the Mohamad Hafez show that you've just seen. What a fantastic day. And the beautiful thing about this was that the art was so diverse. Video pieces, sculptures, paintings, and those wonderful dioramas that I've just seen. Do remember that the pieces at the University of Sussex are only on until this Sunday, the 15th of May. But you have a little bit more time to see the Alberta, Whittle and Mohamad Hafez pieces in the centre of town. Obviously, Brighton is an amazing city to come and experience. I have to say, I've only really just scratched the surface with what is available in terms of art in Brighton at the Brighton Festival. So I would really recommend that you come and explore. Don't forget to subscribe to the art vlog and hit that notification bell for more upcoming shows. Andreas Gursky at White Cube is going to come up soon, as is a couple of the new shows at Tate Britain, including the much anticipated Cornelia Parker show, which I can't wait for. So do join me for those, and I really look forward to seeing you, and keep getting out there and exploring some art.